Hello and welcome. I'm Matthew Wiebe from 5Doc Physiotherapy and Sports Injury Centre. I'm so glad that you could join me for this work ergonomic presentation. I'm really excited. I know that a lot of people are working from home and that's why I'm bringing you this presentation today. I just really wanted to help share with you a whole bunch of information to help you avoid pain and injury. So let's dive in. I'm just going to make myself a little bit smaller and hide just down here in the corner while we get stuck into it. So I guess what we're going to cover today is what is work ergonomics all about and why is it important. We're going to touch on quite extensively how the coronavirus has changed our work environment. We're going to talk about working from home, what issues do we need to be aware of, and what things do we need to consider. We're going to go through some of the best strategies to improve the working from home experience. We're going to go through some of the top tips to help reduce the chance of pain and injury associated with working from home. And I'm also going to take you through the options that are there if you're already experiencing pain. What is ergonomics? Ergonomics is the process of designing or arranging workplaces, products and systems so that they fit the people who use them. Ergonomics aims to design a workplace to suit individuals' needs to improve efficiency and productivity whilst reducing discomfort. Why is it important? Well, work ergonomics reduces work-related injury, increasing savings to businesses, but also increasing savings to workers in their back pocket because they're not paying for services like the stuff that I offer, physiotherapy. It improves productivity and morale. It can also improve focus. But the big one is it reduces pain and fatigue and the toll that can come on our lives if we're not comfortable with the way that we work. So with the current situation and the coronavirus, the COVID-19 crisis, we've kind of been forced to work from home. It's happened with haste due to the global pandemic. Companies in the world really weren't well prepared for this situation. Businesses and employees had to be extremely adaptable due to the health issues. Many people lacked ideal equipment for remote work at home, and there's a variety of home work situations and setups. Now, working from home, I guess there's lots and lots of things that we might want to consider. I guess the first thing is, are you more distracted or are you less distracted? I know for me, I'd be more distracted. I've got 4 little kids at home, so it'd be really distracting. Whereas if you live by yourself, perhaps you're able to really punch out a lot more work. But does that mean that you end up working longer hours? I guess there's different forms of communication and in interaction and team management and tasks. We have to come up with new solutions around that. And I'm sure you've all found some fantastic solutions. Obviously, there's a change in schedule. Obviously, there's a lot less time in transit if you're not traveling into the office and get the ability to maybe sleep in. Changed workspace and work environment's a big one. Might have children, family members, pets present that challenge the flow of your day. But there might also be the less ability to move and less social interaction, less of those water cooler conversations that you might have as a result of working from home. So the COVID-19 crisis and working from home, I guess the current situation's led to an increase in stress for a lot of people. The stress of potentially, I guess, firstly, health risks. So getting sick or family members getting sick. The stress associated with isolation and how it affects families and relationships. The extra stress of teaching kids as they do remote learning from home. The financial stress and money issues with job security. The coronavirus has also led to a vast majority of people having a decreased level of activity as we've got restrictions in what we can do outdoors. Gyms are closed and group activities have all kind of been put on hold and sport has effectively stopped. There's also the increased risk of injury. So due to increased stress, less activity and exercise and poor prolonged posture and home work ergonomics. So I guess some of the statistics around this are that there's 88% of organisations have encouraged or required their employees to now work from home due to the coronavirus. Research also shows that prolonged sitting leads to increased body discomfort in the neck, shoulder, upper back, lower back, and buttock region. Sitting in a slump position is associated with trunk muscle fatigue, which may compromise the ability of the spine and make it susceptible to injury. I also know that sitting for longer than 20 minutes through research shows us that we'll start to slump. So that lack of activity can also be a big problem. The total economic cost of work-related injuries is estimated up to $60 billion, with low back pain being the world's most common cause of work-related injury. So there's lots of variability of ergonomics when we talk about working from home. There's lots of things that we need to consider, including the equipment we use, the space that we work in, and also, I guess, the differences in work schedules. So different equipment comes by the way of lots of things, I guess, whether you're using a laptop, a desktop, versus using a tablet or a smartphone excessively. Monitors, I guess, how many monitors are you using, the size, the position, the angle of them? Are you using external keyboards and mouses? The types of chairs and desks that we're using, and the makeshift nature of a lot of that. Lumbar supports and footrests, so we're using those kinds of things that we might use in the office. Phone use, mobile use. Are we using headsets to take our longer calls? Different workspace at home. So I guess this is a lot to do with your environment. So are you using a kitchen table versus a coffee table versus a breakfast bench, or are you setting up in a home office situation? Are you working from the bed or from the couch? What's your lighting like and the placement of windows? Are you sharing your space with your partner, your housemates, or even the kids as they do their studying from home? The other thing is a difference in work schedule. So there's increased time spent sitting, standing, and walking. It all changes when you're working at home. Potentially, walk to the printer situations, less social interaction. So maybe not as much, water cooler conversations like I mentioned earlier. Different forms of social interaction. It might be a Zoom meeting or a phone call or a FaceTime meeting. Might be doing more presentations like this. Sneaking in of domestic tasks, that might be a different change to your schedule, which might be a positive. You might end up clocking more hours because all of a sudden you're not setting that 9 to 5 work situation like you traditionally would. But there's also that ability to sneak in exercise as no one's watching. So you might be able to jump down and do some push-ups throughout your day. I guess the big thing is when we talk about ergonomics and working from home is that you should be creative. It's about customizing a unique home environment to each individual. You may not have access to all of the right equipment, but you can adapt and use things around you to create a more optimal posture and position. Poor ergonomics can lead to pain and injury. So periods of prolonged sustained positions, particularly sitting, can be a problem. Poor posture, improper equipment, poor setup, a lack of physical activity, sharing of workstation or computer and not adjusting it, a lack of breaks. All these things can lead to an increased risk of pain and injury. So how can I avoid pain or injury as a result of my home work ergonomics? So there's lots and lots of things that we can consider. I'm going to go through a bunch of hot tips, so bear with me. The first one is avoid working on your couch. So if you're working on your couch, it places your neck and back in an awkward position, increasing the risk of the stress of the muscles, and it loads up your joints, increasing the chance of pain and injury. Now, a good tip is to give your eyes a break and look away from your screen. Just have a glance. It improves your focus, takes your stress off your eyes, leading to improved concentration. Every hour, you should stand up and have a cheeky stretch. So a cheeky little trap stretch can be amazing. Stretching those tight muscles and just giving them some love. What I suggest is taking a 1-minute stretch break every hour. Take brief breaks every 20 minutes to reset your posture and take in a few breaths. It allows you to recalibrate. Remember to adopt a good posture when you sit back down. I'll just move myself out of the way there. It's better to take frequent short breaks than one large break. It helps improve your posture, your focus, and helps you to re-energize. You should set a break schedule. So electronic reminders are the best. Plan it out. Use phone alarms, download apps, or even use the alarm on your kitchen oven so that you have to physically get up to turn it off. We need to be made awareness. Breaks need to kind of come into our consciousness. If we can form these habits, we can really avoid pain and injury. So if you are feeling strained from sitting for too long, you should change your position. Try working on your kitchen surface or a veranda, or take phone calls walking around your place or even outside. So some of my patients are setting up kind of two different workstations. They're setting one up on their kitchen table and then one up on their breakfast bench as a standing up station. So that might be a good little tip. This is a really important slide, and I guess it takes us through your head's relative weight, which increases the further that we look down. So looking down for too long increases the stress through your neck muscles and your joints and places a hell of a lot of stress and can often lead to neck pain. So if you're spending extended periods looking down, you might strain your neck. Try and set yourself up so that you're not looking down. So if you're looking at a laptop like this fella is, there's a good chance that your neck's at a 45-degree angle, significantly increasing the weight of your head as opposed to this guy over here. Other things to consider is if you don't have a lumbar support in your chair or a lumbar support cushion, you can simply roll up a towel or place a pillow in the small of your back. This can help support your back, and it also improves your neck position, helping to eliminate pain and injury. If your feet aren't flat on the floor, you should use a footstool or a box for extra support. This can help take the stress off your back, improve your posture overall, helping to minimize the risk of pain developing. Another really good strategy is to sneak in some general exercise throughout your day. Often works well as a lunch break to break up your day. Exercise can help you keep motivated and also help you keep focused. It will work even better if you have the ability to exercise outside. Otherwise, let's be honest, there's heaps of virtual exercise that you can do as well. But just remember, exercising really does help. So if you can stand up and do some stretching hourly, you'll get some really good benefits. Keep active throughout your day. Do different tasks around the house so that you're not stuck in one spot. Get cardiovascular exercise in while respecting social distancing. Positional ergonomic setup tips. So these are going to be really important for you. So let's be very clear. Position is everything. The way you set up is everything. So basic positional recommendations: adjust your screen to eye level. Primary monitor needs to be directly in front of you if you're using multiple screens. Elbows should be bent to a 90 degrees angle. Sit with your back supported. Like I said, use a towel or a cushion if you don't have a normal lumbar support in your chair that you're using. Hip angle should be between 90 and 120 degrees to help take some of the stress off your back. Your feet should be firmly planted on the ground or that footstool we mentioned. And bring all commonly used equipment within reach so that you're not having to stretch out and overreach, placing excessive stress on different parts of your back, especially if it's something that you do repetitiously, like reaching out for a phone or something of that nature. What else can you do to really prevent injury as a result of your home work setup? Something that we've created is a virtual ergonomic assessment. I'm sure you're wondering what a virtual ergonomic setup consultation entails. So I guess firstly we should go through what's a traditional ergonomic assessment. So typically ergonomic assessments are conducted in offices to help identify the risk of workplace such as poor workstation setup, helping to minimize the potential cause of pain or injury to a company's employee. Some simple adjustments and the addition of readily available office equipment can change workstation ergonomics and posture, reducing the risk of musculoskeletal pain and injury dramatically. So that's pain with your neck and your back, your muscles and your joints. With the current situation, due to COVID-19 and social distancing, people are mostly working from home. These type of face-to-face ergonomic assessments are no longer realistic or possible. This has caused many people to just make do, and unfortunately, this leads them to adopting poor posture, inadequate ergonomic setup, and bad habits that can lead to pain and injury. So, what's a virtual ergonomic assessment? A direct comparison to an in-office ergonomic assessment, but done remotely so that no one has to enter your house, respecting social distancing and keeping everyone safe and healthy. In these remote consultations, our expert physios will conduct personalized workstation assessments using technology that you already have, like your phone or your laptop, allowing us to analyze your home workstation setup and your equipment that you're using. We can analyze your posture and all of the positions that you're getting into. During this video call assessment, we're able to give you recommendations to optimally improve your setup, helping to minimize the risk of neck pain, back pain, and headaches. We'll conduct a complete and thorough analysis using your current work setup at home. We'll provide you with solutions on how to correct your personal setup, and we'll teach you how to set up your home environment safely, minimizing your risk of pain, neck pain, headaches, and back pain. Our goal is to improve your posture and workstation setup so that you don't get pain or injury. And we want to help you come up with simple adjustments and strategies so that you can work from home with comfort and enjoyment. So, if you're doing this, now you probably don't think that she's sitting that badly, but I can tell you she is. Or your setup might look something like this, or even something simple like this. Then there's a good chance it's leading to fatigue and a lack of focus. It might be leading to an achy neck or back or shoulder pain. Perhaps so far you're one of the lucky ones and you're feeling okay despite the positions that you might be getting into. And you certainly don't want it to lead to back pain or headaches or what we call the combo, neck and back pain. Ultimately, poor posture and poor ergonomic setup lead to this, which is physiotherapy. And let me tell you, unfortunately, physio isn't a quick fix. There's no magic wand, no chiro, no physio, no osteopath is magically going to get rid of all the symptoms that come on. It takes a little bit of time and money and energy to get on top of these things if you haven't done the preventative work first. But I'm sure that you'd much prefer good health, no pain, and the freedom and the happiness that comes with it. So the virtual ergonomic assessment can certainly help you to take control. If you want to reduce your chance of pain and injury while working from home, improve your workstation setup, and have the opportunity to live your life to the fullest injury-free, then the virtual ergonomic assessment might just be for you. Now, I want to ensure that a virtual ergonomic assessment is suitable for you, so I'd like to offer you a free phone pre-screening. Simply register your interest by clicking on the button below, and you can fill in the form so that we can arrange a time. And if you're currently in pain in the pre-screening, we can also give you some ripper advice to help you. Simply register your interest by clicking on that button below and get a free screening. If you're already in pain and have an injury that needs some treatment, my team are here too. We conduct in-house and virtual physiotherapy consults, sports injury management, pre and post-op physio rehab. We also conduct these virtual ergonomic setup consultations, running physio run one-on-one clinical reformer Pilates consults, and also virtual Pilates consults at the moment as we're unable to run Pilates classes. So if you're in pain and stuck at home, click on that link also and we can reach out to see if we can help you. Alternatively, if you're in pain immediately, give us a call in the clinic on 9713-2455. Thanks so much for watching this presentation. Let me see if I can make my screen a little bit bigger. I guess the most important thing for my mind is that we really want to get on top of workstation ergonomics. We want people to be free of pain and injury. It's an interesting time, and I guess we've all got to adapt. So if you are struggling with pain or injury, you need a little bit of help, or you're worried that your current workstation setup might lead to pain or injury, feel free to fill in that form below, and we'll reach out and give you a free screening so that we can give you a hand. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. Don't be shy to reach out. Cheers.